Hey guys, welcome to The Identity Shift. Welcome back to Identity Shift. Here today we have Meghan Symonds, and she is the owner and operator of Halifax Charcuterie. How are you, Meghan?
Good. Very happy to be here.
I'm always happy to talk to you. Before we went on here, we were talking for the last 30 minutes anyways, before we hit record. Meghan is a vibe, and she's one of them black girls that she's smart, she's authentic, she's sexy as fuck. But she really knows the hustle. So we're going to jump right in and have a quick conversation with Meghan to hear more about what she has going on with Halifax Charcuterie and other little initiatives that she is about to pop out and that she's been working on.
Yes.
Meghan, can you start telling us a little bit about who is Meghan, what is Halifax Charcuterie, and what is Meghan out here doing?
So, Meghan Symonds, from the community, well, Nova Scotian, Black Nova Scotian. Halifax Charcuterie is like my baby. I didn't think it would be, but it's now my baby.
Newborn.
Yeah, it's definitely my newborn. Might be my favorite child of all the things I've done. It's a local charcuterie business. Forget you're at home is like the energy I'm trying to put into the board. So you might think you're on like a beach in Italy, you're in Paris, but you're enjoying yourself. And right now I'm just in the midst of summer orders. A lot of like corporate orders. The boat cruise is coming up with Elevate and Explore, so I'll be doing that one. And then transitioning a little bit into some events. Like hosting events, like either purely emceeing or like organizing, hosting events.
Oh, I like the emceeing thing that you can really capitalize on emceeing events.
Yes.
I know you did your sister's wedding, wasn't it last year?
My best friend's wedding, yes.
Best friend, sorry.
And she had a Nigerian wedding, a traditional wedding, and then a Canadian wedding, the white wedding, essentially.
Yeah.
So I co-emceed the Canadian wedding with her brother, but essentially mostly me. He's pretty shy. But it was got a lot of feedback from that wedding.
You would. I remember
were
that
like,
was...
Girl.
You were excited, but you were kind of nervous. It was around a pitch competition, am I right?
Yes, yeah, it was the same
You were
day.
I'm like, what is this girl doing? Like, you're emceeing a wedding and you're doing a pitch competition, but you looked beautiful. I seen the pictures afterwards, and I was like...
Shifumi, she made the dress.
I said, Meghan, her body. Like, I was just like, Meghan Thee Stallion does not have nothing.
Yes. I'm like,
nothing.
I always say she's a stallion, but I'm like a little pony.
Like,
shorter,
literally.
but she's, If I was taller, I was meant to be taller. I know that much.
I think your mom's not tall, so...
She's not, no. But I have a big foot, Tia. I
wear
wear a ladies 10 at 5'3".
But your foot's so skinny, you couldn't even tell.
That makes me feel good because it's like one of my like only sources of like confidence. I'm just like, oh, these big flippers.
No, God, and your feet are always done. Feet are always done.
I wear heels for that reason though, so that you can't tell how like long they are.
Yeah, they look good. Don't wear UGG boot. Oh my God, you could never wear UGG boot.
I would they look like them big ugly red boots.
I don't mess with UGG boots because of that reason. I'm a 10'2". Only difference is my feet are like little bear paws.
But you're tall or taller than me.
5'6", 5'7", sorry, 5'7".
That's a good height. That's a good height.
I mean, your feet are... if you guys seen her feet, you would know what I'm talking about.
People don't believe me.
Her feet are so skinny and small looking, and her toes are always done, so it distracts from the fact
that...
But
no one knows I'm 5'3".
That's all you are?
People see me online. Yeah, people see me online, and they're like, you're lying. And they don't... Yeah, I'm only 5'3". If I took these shoes off, you'd be like, nah. I'd be like, yeah, this is...
My daughter, who's 17, is 5'3".
I've been 5'3" since I was 11. I had like a growth spurt real early, and then just capped.
Oh, that's in the mom's genes then.
I think, yeah, because my dad's only maybe like 5'10". Maybe. And like his family ranges.
And that's average though.
Yeah, they're like average height, but I got the short. But my brother's like 6 feet. Like
what happened?
I don't know. I think God was like, not too much on you. He's like, I know how you're going to act.
Yeah,
so
I'm not giving you everything.
I didn't get height and I didn't get abs. He's like, I see how you're going to act. And
I said that not too long ago to my fiance. I was like, listen, he up above said, bitch, I did not make you skinny because I know you're not, you're going to act.
I'm over here now.
So exactly.
I'm over here now, so I was like, yeah, God's seen the vision.
He knew.
Yeah.
Meghan, you mentioned something because you do it in your marketing a lot, and I love it. You talk about, how Halifax Charcuterie is, you don't have to travel to feel like you're in Paris.
Yes.
What gave you that idea? Like, because I know you're bougie,
around
but...
luxury. So I guess, I went overseas in 2022.
Okay, yeah.
So I was in... I went to Paris mainly, but traveled to Italy, did a day trip to Italy and UK and all that. But that's kind of where charcuterie comes from. So like the word charcuterie itself means cured meat, and it's from France. What we call charcuterie here in the West is really called antipasto. So we go to like an Italian restaurant here, this one on Spring Garden. You look under the antipasto, it means appetizer, you'll see charcuterie there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, charcuterie technically, what we call in the West is really antipasto over there.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's meant to be an appetizer. Now my boards are not like an app. They're like a
No,
full meal.
no,
You get a
they're a
full
meal.
meal deal with them. But that's kind of where it comes from. But I just wanted people to have something that they could access at home. I wanted like us, like black women, black people, but like really black women. Like we didn't used to take a lot of time for ourselves
No,
or like to enjoy things or
we
just
still
like
don't.
even just do things like frivolously. Like there's nothing wrong with that. So like to give us like that luxury experience at home where like some people maybe if you can't leave the country or you don't have access to a passport or just outside that you don't need to have a plane ticket or a passport to enjoy luxury. I can bring it directly to you in your home. You can have it inside for a date night. You can host
It's
like family
absolutely a
night,
vibe.
a house party. And if you are like a host of like a house parties, your house is always the house. Having a charcuterie board, it will make you will
Everybody
be the
happy.
people will they'll like we're going to their house. They always have the charcuterie board. Even like my girlfriend Chica, she always orders one of my best clients. And people are just like, we wait for you to come with the board every
Because
time.
you always order the board. It's so funny because my staff, when they start working for me back in November 2023, Shanika and Keisha and Ramon, even though he's not staff, they were like, and Tashana was like, "What is this? They're Jamaican."
Yeah, I love when people are like,
So,
what? They're like, that cheese look a little like it's not cheddar. And I'm like, it's better. Try it.
and I was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "You guys never seen this before?" They were like, "No." And now they will ask, "Are we getting Megan? Are we getting Megan?"
That's the best compliment.
But in the beginning, girl, they was like, that's not gonna fill us. We wanted, some curry chicken. We wanted some patty.
That
We
sounds
wanted,
good too. Yeah.
but now they're educated on it and they love it. And the spicy jelly, I love it. They love it. So they will say, "Are we getting Megan now?" And I'm like, you guys
Those
were
are my
mad with
favorite
me.
type of clients that like I always tell a story. Like I think I told at the pitch last year. Like my nephews, meat and potato kids. Like my brother, meat and potato kid. Just he don't rest in the vegetables. He might eat a banana every couple months.
Oh wow.
And so I made charcuterie. I was like, I did my 30th birthday. We were still during COVID, so I did a wine tasting in my home and I bought like several bottles of wine and paired it with like individual items on a charcuterie board. And he came and he was like, "Oh, what's this? This is good." He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to have some of this. And he would come over after and be like, "You got any charcuterie?" And I was like, first of all, this is like I don't just have charcuterie.
Yeah,
in the
you just
house.
don't have it
It's
laying
a little
around.
expensive. I was like, but I'll see. And like every time he comes over, I try to whip him up something.
Really?
But yeah, and even my nephews are just like, "Yeah, Megan, I don't know what that is." I said, "Just eat it," and they're smelling it like. They like it now.
Yeah, it takes
and like
a
I said,
minute to.
like so if I can convert them, most people, I'm like, you'll like it. You just there's something on a board for everybody, whether it's the cheese or the
Literally.
fruit. If you don't do the cheese and the meat, there's something on there though that you will like.
It's so true.
Yeah.
My favorite part of charcuterie board is the spicy jelly.
Yes, red pepper jelly.
Love it, love it, love it. And I can't remember what that cheese is called. The soft cheese with the
The
herbs.
brie?
Yeah.
No, the Borson.
Borson.
Yes.
I
Borson
can
is so
smear
good.
that on the bread, the crackers, the cheese. I can even take a little bit of it and mix it in with the spicy jelly and just spoon it.
Ooh, I'm
It
gonna
is-
try that.
I'm telling you, Megan.
See, because they have a cranberry pepper flavor. That's my favorite Borson. It's in the red box. I'm gonna try
Red
that.
box?
Yeah,
I
it's
get
a
the
red
white
box.
one, white and greenish.
Yes, that's the one people are like. But the red box, some people like it because it has a sweet element to it. But it's cranberry and cracked pepper. It's so good. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna mix that with the red pepper. Oh,
It's so good. And I
I'm
just
going to
smear
try
it.
that.
I smear it on whatever. It's really, really good. So for me, Halifax charcuterie is everything. It just makes me feel like I'm not in, at a host party down the street. Like I'm not just eating the Ritz cheese and crackers, pepperoni. Mind you, nothing's wrong with that because to this day I still will.
I love
I will
Ritz.
throw back a good
Ritz are
cracker from Ritz and a good pepperoni from Brothers and slather some cheese. But like sometimes you just need to feel like
a little step up.
you do. You need to get that little step up. I was just talking earlier with Megan. I introduced her as an academia. And I hate to say it to people, but it's facts because before I knew you as Halifax charcuterie entrepreneur. She's coming out the woodwork. And then as I got to know you, I'm like, this is the academia. How do you go from that into entrepreneurship? And you still work. You still work your 9 to 5.
I do, yeah.
What was that transition? It can't be just from a trip.
No. I had the business before the trip. So I had the business probably a year. I started the business like a year before I went on the trip. That year, the top of the year when I turned 30, I was like, I'm going overseas. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I said, I'm going this year. And the guy was just like, oh, say less. And I was like, so I ended up going over. So the transfer from academia, I guess the only part, like I did a double major, like in philosophy.
You hear that? Double
Double
major.
major, yeah. There's nothing I can really do with it with just a bachelor's degree. So, but my goal was initially to help people. So I wanted to be a psychologist, not good at writing, just not a fan. Like, and I did a lot of reading with philosophy as a major, like a lot of reading. I don't read books now, and that sounds bad, but I will like audiobooks, but to sit and read a book, I had to read so many papers in philosophy.
You're not a
that
book reader?
no, man, that double major would whoop me out. It was a lot of reading.
I'm
A
only
lot of
saying that, and
dense
I'm only
reading.
shocked, Megan, because
Audiobooks.
talking to you, you
sound
seem
like
like
I read
that.
books.
You do. Like, you are very worldly.
I will read some. So like if it has to really like now this is blasphemous to people who read books. I open up the middle of the book and read it. And if I don't like if I don't want to know how I got here, then I don't buy the book. So like I will read books the odd time. Like I'll buy, and if I do read a book, I buy like a physical book if I want a nice one.
Wow.
But yeah, I open up the middle of the book and I read the middle, whatever's going on with the passage I open to. And people are like, you sure that ruins the book? Oh, I don't care about all that. I'm still gonna read it if it's interesting.
Megan.
I know, but I love Dan Brown. I've read a lot of his books. So like Angels and Demons, The Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that stuff just about like history and how far back it goes. But yeah, so I don't read as many books now as like regular people
Because
do.
that double major
Yeah,
hit you
that
hard.
whooped my ass. Yeah, it was really the philosophy papers because they're dense and it's all this thee, thou, and what if, which is I didn't mind it. They were all just very dense works.
Yeah.
So I don't read for fun anymore. But
Well,
like
do you-
podcasts, audiobooks, yes.
So you do the
Yes,
audiobooks on a
yes.
regular.
Yeah.
And it must be, again, worldly stuff, like things that we're
Yeah,
not
right
just
now
running
is,
to.
101 essays that will change your life. I forget who the author is, but it's very interesting so far.
See what I mean? I
Very
knew it. I
interesting.
knew what you don't. Okay, you don't read books. I give you that.
I don't read
But I
physical
was like,
books
there's no
often.
way this girl. Like, you guys got to talk to Megan. If you
People
talk to
honestly
her,
though are very stunned, mostly men, and that gets on my nerves. But like I
Well, 'cause
remember,
you're
I was
pretty.
talking to a guy. What was it? We were driving somewhere, and what he's like, honestly, he was like, I would never know you had these things to say by walking past you. And in my head, I was just like, oh, you might not see me again. For telling me
'cause
that out loud this early, because now I know you thought I was a dummy, and I don't like that. And that. It bothers me sometimes in business that way because people will see me and they're just like, oh, who's this like very pretty girl? Like
She don't
all
know
these,
shit
all
about
this shapely
business.
stuff. Like she's just a dummy. Like she doesn't know what she's talking about. But then they talk to me and they're like, oh, you're more than a pretty face. And also people are like, yes. Like,
Obviously.
I come into the room knowing I'm smart. I was like, you just are shocked that I am. I said, but that's like,
Oh my
like,
God,
it's
And
frustrating.
you know what? I'm not surprised they say that about you. I'm not
I'm
because
surprised they tell me.
and that's what I'm surprised that they told you.
Yes.
Right, homeboy, did you give him a second call back?
I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, exactly. You lost the race. You lost the race. And I know you get that even when you go into your workspace,
Yeah.
corporate, you're going to any space because for whatever reason, people view someone who's a business owner or entrepreneur, someone who's broke.
Yeah.
Someone that looks dusty and just dragged out from life and looking tired.
Well, listen, God's been good because I definitely look like what I've been through. I lived a lot of
Yeah.
life from like 15 to 29 was really tough.
Megan, you're 29.
No, I'm 32. Like just life got good the last couple of years.
You're 32?
Yeah.
You're in your 30s? I didn't even catch on earlier when you said
Yes.
your birthday party. Your
Yeah, I'm
30th.
32. Yeah. Turned 32 in January.
Well, and again, shout out to her mom because I'm telling you guys to see her mom, you would get it. Like,
Yes, good genes.
Yeah,
Very,
very,
good
very good
genes.
genes.
Yeah, and like I say, but I don't look like what I've been through. But it's been a road. I think a lot of life experiences taught like the way I present myself and how I speak. I think once you hear that, if you're smart enough to not make any assumptions, you'll be very surprised. You'll be like, oh, this is an asset. This is somebody I want on my team. And like I will get that from some men too, who just they don't spoil it too early, and they're like, "Oh, I need to keep you around." I'm like, "Well, hopefully you can."
Hopefully you can last that long. You
Yeah,
don't say
even
no
in
stupid
business,
comments.
yeah, even in business, like I just don't have time for people who talk foolish or they try to like play me because then now I'm gonna be upset. Now I'm gonna be petty, depending on how like what the situation
Petty.
is. Yeah, and I'm okay. I'm okay with being that way. I'm okay. I repent. I ask God for forgiveness if it's a little much, but. You can't let people. I can't let people play with me this early in my business career.
Girl, put your foot down now
Yeah.
because I made that mistake of allowing people to play with me for a long time. And once they know they can, they just keep doing it.
Yes. And it gets harder. To say
It
no
gets
and stop.
harder. It gets harder. And the disrespect becomes so blatant of taking you for granted that it's actually sickening. And then when you do put your foot down, guess what happens? They're the victim and you're the aggressor now. You were the bad person. So, Megan, keep that energy. Keep your.
Have you ever heard though? You're the villain in somebody. You're the villain in
I'm
someone's
always-
story, and I was
always.
like, that's okay.
I mean,
The villains always have good clothing, a sickening
I
backstory.
don't lose sleep. I'm not tired.
Exactly.
So I always say to people, you mean you don't like me? You don't really have a reason. You just hear what people say, so you don't like me. You have this premeditated thought process of who Tia is. I don't lose sleep.
Yeah, believe what you want.
Yeah, and I'm not. If someone says to me at this point in 2024, 1 + 1 = 3, you're fucking right.
Yeah, you got it.
You
got it.
are so right.
You got it.
And I'm just going to leave it at there.
Yes.
Meghan, I know most people would know if they're going to be watching this, listening. They know about Better Brunches, right?
I would hope so.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But can you tell the listeners about Better Brunches and how did you come up with the name Better Brunches? Because I like how
listen, better. So like my online persona is Meghan Better. So like everything about that whole persona is branding. So like the Better Life, that was the name of my podcast, and then Better Brunch. So like, and better is not like better than you. It's like a better than me, besting yourself, like constantly
Every
getting better,
day.
learning, growing. It's not like a one up on somebody. But I came up with Better Brunch because I wanted to go to like a fun boozy brunch, and like they don't really have them here. We have strict liquor laws here too, very strict.
We do.
So the brunches that I've held, I was just like, I've been waiting for people to host them. I was like, hey, somebody will do it, somebody else will do it. I just didn't want to do the work. I didn't want to be the one to organize
to put on an event.
It is. And like granted, like I do them at East Coast Con. Leo makes it very easy for me. So there's not too much I really have to do. He even like helps me with getting the DJs together. So I just really have to like sell tickets and pick out a date. And Leo's like, all right, say less. We'll just figure everything else. So they've been good. But I wanted to do something fun. I wanted to go out and have drinks with like my friends and like sing and just be loud and like ghetto or ratchet and just have a good time and eat good food. And so they came to the point, my friends were like, you're going to have to do it. And I was like, I know. And then I did. So I had the first one last October 2023. And then the next one was for my birthday in January. So I did that. Now the third one I had to cancel. People don't know that, but the tickets didn't sell. So I had to cancel the third one. It's supposed to be in March. So I'm trying to work on one now, but I'm hosting a brunch separately with a different group in the end of July. So next Sunday.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, at Moxie Hotel. Shout out to Moxie Hotel.
Yeah, Moxie's good.
So yeah, we're hosting it there. It's called the R&B Lab. So it's all R&B.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, so cute.
Yeah, so it'll be outside. The patio's really nice.
Is it a weekend?
Yeah, it's a Sunday.
See, I got to say this to everybody who's putting things on, because I seen something the other day. Winnie Brown, Empowerment for Hope, is putting on like a sip and paint thing on a Friday night.
Yes.
And this is happening on a Sunday. People, Tia Upshaw would love to go to your events, but Friday nights is date night for the last 10 years. Me and my love bug. Sundays are family day.
Okay.
So I
won't
won't
bring the family. I guess your daughter's 17.
and it's not appropriate. I've never drank around any of my children. My son's 28.
Bring that back. As a community, bring that back.
Absolutely. I don't
even
do
now,
it.
I will have a glass of wine, Mom, and that still feels weird. And that's during the holidays.
Because that's how you were raised.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be that way. And I tell people, like, my son's 28. My middle daughter is 26. Sorry, Kia. And Zaria is 17. And my two oldest will tell you, I've never seen my mom drunk. I've never seen her drinking.
Yeah, no.
And the reason I do that is because the minute you sit with your child, no matter how old they are, and you drink with them and converse with them on an adult level, they feel that they're equal to you.
Yeah.
I need you to know I'm still your mother. I'm still going to beat your ass.
Yes.
So that's why I don't do it, and I'm not going to
That
take.
makes sense.
And people ask me all the time, like, how come you don't bring Zaria? How come you don't bring Zaria? Yeah, she's 17.
Because I'm her mom, and this
But
is my stuff.
exactly, I'm not going to bring her in spaces where she's going to see me in a different light.
Yes.
I want her to always see me as her mom.
Yeah, I don't
not
pull back
as
that curtain is a little, and it's weird.
It is
For
very
me,
weird.
It's weird. Like I don't want to know that. I just don't.
It's just too much, and it's not fair to her. Even when I'm in business and I'm, speaking at a conference, she knows I do it. But some things I talk about at conferences, it's for adult ears.
Yes.
She's not an adult, so I'm not going to bring her to a conference. She can go to conferences for youth, they're entrepreneurs and whatnot, and people are just like, "Oh, you should have let her see what you do." The girl isn't me. You don't think she hears
she
my
sees-
office?
she knows
She sees
what's going on.
everything.
I
But
respect
again,
that so much.
I keep her away. So yeah,
More
I
of
tell
that.
people, stop doing these. I don't get to go to these events because I am very busy as an entrepreneur. Making you can attest to that for
Yes.
yourself. But I have a fiance that lives an hour and a half away,
Which is
so
nice.
I have to dedicate a certain time to give to my relationship.
Yes.
And I have a 17-year-old at home. She has to have time with me. So Sundays is her, Fridays is him,
Oh, I like that.
Wednesdays is him sometimes too. And I won't go from that schedule. Like I won't change it and say, "Oh yeah, I'll go with you guys to the beach today."
Yeah.
No, it's my man's day.
Yeah, we
And
don't
it
do
works.
same
And that's why
thing.
we're solid after 11 years with really no issues.
You're
So-
making a very important point here. I don't know if you know what point you're making. but-
what am I making?
So people often tell women you can't have it all, and we can have it all. You just described having it all.
Oh, yeah,
consistently
literally.
for the last since you had your kids, but also since starting your businesses, like your relationship. we can have it all.
Literally.
I do. And people are like, no. And I always tell people, like, maybe not at the same time, but I'll have it all.
You can't have it at the same time, but if you figure it out and how to,
You have to be intentional.
Mitigate every issue that comes with having, your personal and professional life kind of clash, sometimes you have to figure it out. But again, it takes having a good tribe around you. Yes. So for me, my fiance was with me when I had nothing. In 2013, when I was almost homeless, literally had nothing. I was on welfare. So when people say, oh, it's only with her because of whatever, bitch, he was with me when I was on welfare.
I was like, oh, you didn't know about me, then you didn't care.
You didn't care, exactly. So it's different. And now it's like, I'm busy and I have multiple businesses in the organization, podcasts, I do CTV, I'm traveling, keynote speaking.
Some people don't see, so I was like, when people see people online, I need you to realize, like, that's a small snapshot.
Oh, my God.
To me, it looks like I'm living the life of Riley. I'm not doing nothing. It looks like I'm not at work.
But it is. And I feel bad because people have that perception. They see me online. I'm just like.
But then when they see you pop up with these things,
they're like,
this is what I've been working on.
This is what you've been working on the back end.
Mind your business.
Like, and it works for me. Yeah. I don't really care. Like I said, I don't lose sleep over it. But at the end of the day, you can have it all. Yes. You just have to prioritize. And what comes with me prioritizing, audience and listeners and Megan, is that I don't go to the clubs. I don't go out to dinner with girlfriends every week. I'm not out there living it up. I literally intentionally am creating an empire around me and my family. And that means prioritizing them, prioritizing my finances, making sure I'm building my assets, and just going to have a good fucking soft life.
I did a presentation last week to a group of kids, 50 for Free. They're a nonprofit that holds a camp.
Oh,
here.
Yeah, I heard about them.
It was really good. So one of the things I told them, I was like, tell people no. I said, if you have a goal you really want, I said, when I started my business, I was like, I tell my girlfriends no. I can't do it, like, whether it's like I have other financial obligations or I'm doing this for the business or I have orders this day. I was like, and I just tell them no because that's what I want. I said, and like, they're not going to help me get that in the nicest way possible. They're not working my business for me. I was like, so I have to like decide and be an adult and say like, no, I can't do this sometimes. I said, but if that's something you want, I said, the way, then they were playing basketball. It's like a basketball camp. So I was like, the way you guys dedicate your time to ball before, like every morning, before breakfast, after breakfast, all day at school, in the summertime at camp. I was like, the way you all dedicate yourselves to that is how you want to dedicate to what it is you want in life. And I said, in the way that you will tell people, no, I'm going to play ball. No, I don't want to stay inside. No, I want to go work out. That's the same dedication. That's the level you need to have for the things that you want in life. And I said, and doing that comes with telling people and friends and family, no, I can't do this. And sacrificing the fun. Or I just
don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They will be mad. They will say you're not a good friend, you're not a good sister, you're not a good brother, you're not a good cousin, you're not a good auntie, whatever it may be. But again, I talk about, the 3 F's in life. If you're not feeding me, fucking me, or financing me, your opinion does not matter. And
even the financing, not too much.
I'm just saying, like, if you're
gave me the money.
Yeah, but if you're not even contributing or contributing to me leveling up to finance myself,
pipe down.
You lower your tone. Lower your tone. I like what you said to those youth, and I think that you should actually keep saying it over and over and over to grown adults.
I tell them no is a complete sentence. Even some of my girlfriends, they're like, I was like, tell them no. And just know. Especially men. Men have poor boundaries.
They do.
I've been discovering this in dating. And I was like, bro, y'all just don't say no. And like, I'm like, maybe I'm the bitch. Maybe it's. And I'm like, no. I was like, no. I went to therapy enough years. This is what I should be doing. Yes. I was like, and they have not been to therapy, clearly. I was like, but you need to start saying no. Because like all this stress you got is because you're not saying no.
Exactly.
And you keep saying yeah and trying to fit.
It's not going to work.
No, as an adult, no. And if you're an eldest child like I am, no.
I am too.
No.
I'm the eldest. No means
After
no.
After therapy, no. Like, no.
And I love that statement. No is a complete sentence. And it literally is. All you have to say is no. You don't have to give a reason.
No long talking. Even when you tell me no, just say no. Because I don't need all this extra.
I don't want it. I don't want to know why you said no. I truly, if you said no, okay, cool. Let's move on. Yeah, absolutely. With the unique challenges that comes into business, you have Halifax Charcuterie, then you added, the Meghan Better brand with the Better Brunches. Yes. Do you find the challenges are similar with both businesses, or are they completely different?
I never thought about that. Is that on the list of questions?
Yeah.
I think it is. I know we didn't talk about it last time.
No.
So there are different challenges. So comparing the two, I guess with the brunches, I'm dealing with like mostly my community. I mean, I still am with charcuterie, but I'm dealing with more of my peers, people my age. In the business, I'm dealing with a lot of people, I guess that I would consider them like respected, like elders, adults, and like I'm dealing with businesses and
Yeah.
corporations. So it's very separate worlds in that sense. They have their own, yeah, they do definitely have their own set of unique challenges. I feel with the charcuterie, that's like a smaller section of the wine industry. And the
Yeah.
wine industry is still very whitewashed, very male centered
And you're
as
coming in
well.
to change that.
Yes, I'm definitely coming to change that. I started with CAPS, so Canadian Association of Professional Small. So I'm working on that. I think I talked before, but I started the classes. There's 6 classes you have to take to complete the certification. You have to take them in order. So I did the first one, didn't pass with the passing mark they wanted. So I'm gonna go back and do it
Go do it
because
again,
I'm
girl.
not like I'm not getting. I need that certification. I need to be the first in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
I just need that.
I love that.
But
Being the
dealing
first
with
feels good.
yes, I want that on the wall. I want that
Yeah.
on Google. I want that on my Wikipedia page.
Yes.
First this in Nova Scotia. Yes. So that's been difficult dealing with that space because it's very like elitist and very like classist and like, oh, we are better than you. And that's kind of like people just accept that from that industry. And I'm like, no. There's very nice people in wine. It's just that's the brand that you think of when you think of sommeliers, which is you're a professional wine
is
drinker.
true.
You're a professional, like not alcoholic, but you're a professional drinker. It comes you like there's still whiskey because there's whiskey
Yeah,
education
I know.
too.
Yeah.
But essentially that's what I want. And so dealing with the people in that industry has been tough. Even the class, like everybody in the class was already in the industry except for me. I was the only black person in the class, only black woman in the class. So I was just like,
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I was like, it was very dense too. So I probably should have I studied a lot, but I should have asked more questions about the nature of the course before getting into it. So I know now, but that's a challenge that I'm familiar with, being black or being a black woman in like a white space. And so I can navigate
Facts.
that pretty easily. Now the hosting thing, I have so much respect for promoters and people who do parties
Oh,
and
I do
events.
too. Jesus.
It is hard. And granted, like I can put something together. I feel like at this point in life, I just don't have the budget I would like to do certain things, but like I can put together a nice event, but it's the calling, organizing, and dates.
Executing.
Yeah, executing. And like the whole time, people are like, oh, have relax, have fun. I'm like, no, I'm thinking about
I can't even sleep
I'm thinking
tonight,
of
the
the
night
checklist
before.
if I did what I did and I had to do it. I'm here early, like running around like barefoot in heels trying to figure this out and then all these different things. So it's hard. It is hard to enjoy the event at the time until I know the whole checklist is done and that's it.
Megan, let me tell you. I was thinking about getting PMP certified. So I have taken project management. Girl, and I still get stressed out about events. The ideas always flow. I can write them down. I can framework them up, everything. I do an agile sheet, all that stuff. But to execute the night before, let me tell you, I can't even sleep. I'm constantly going through my head. It's like those commercials or TikToks you see when someone's laying in bed and they wake up. Did I lock the door? No, you locked the door. You locked that door 5 times. You checked it 5 times.
Yes.
But you're like, shit, did I send that email? Let me just go in and schedule it to go out.
Check in all this
It
stuff.
is, it's so hard.
And part of it, I think, is because I have to rely on other people, which is an okay thing to do.
Because you have to build a team, yeah.
But it's the expectation that they're going to treat it the way you would treat it.
They won't.
And that is part of the frustration, which is why I guess like I was like, if I do things for myself, like so be it, because at least I know how it's going to get done the way I want it to be done.
Absolutely.
But I say having a team definitely makes a big difference. But yeah, as far as the events it's a lot more to organize into one, and people are more free with the feedback for that than they are with the charcuterie, which bothers me.
Well, it's weird.
It is weird because I'm first of all, with the charcuterie, I'm giving you food. I would think you'd have much to say about that. But the events I've got, they're like, oh, it's too much. Well, like, why is it this much? Can't it be this and that? And I'm like,
that's in Nova Scotia.
Can't come.
Because I've been to events that are much more expensive than that in Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Ottawa. Like, they do a big up there. You're not going to go to a better brunch, under $100. Like, it's not going to happen.
And it
but
comes
Nova
with,
Scotia, we're so small-minded, majority of individuals
now,
here.
people who go to brunch away come. They're just like, oh, yeah. They're like,
it's
we
easy.
have this here. They're like, yes, I'm in.
That's their Starbucks for the week. Like, they're like, this is easy. Let's just go. But it's the mentality here. They can't see bigger and better. And that brings me right into the next, topic at hand, is that you know your worth. You know where you're going. You've always seen yourself in a different light. And that's about confidence building.
Yes.
Through your business or through the Meghan Better brand, how do you feel that you have, translated confidence into the Black community for other Black women like that may be looking up to you?
I think so. I will always smile at Black children. I don't care what I see. I always make sure to smile at them.
I'm not a kid person, so I'm
I don't
like,
now, Lauren, granted, I don't like other people's kids either. I love my nephews. I love my god kids, but other people, I will make sure I smile at Black kids. When I see them out. There was a girl having a barbecue the other week. Their brothers were playing basketball and they were doing a barbecue to fundraise, and they were working. Their brothers were fundraising somewhere else, and I wasn't like I went to the bank though to get the cash so I can go support them. And I was like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "Oh, it's for our brothers." And I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "You guys are good sisters being out here doing this." And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "How much?" Like, "It's by donation." I was like, "Well, here's this." And one of the girls had braces. I was like, "Oh, I just got mine off. Like, it won't be too long." But I try to give other Black girls what like I had. So my dad was very big in pouring into me as a kid. Everything was Black. This is back in the early '90s. I don't know where they found Black art. We had Black Jesus.
They went
Santa Claus.
They went online. They
Black
went
Barbies.
to what's it called? Not Amazon. What was it called?
Jeeves?
No, online. You get sneakers and everything back in the day. eBay. One of the that's where they went.
But my dad was very big on Black. Like he was like, I would say like he was probably he could have been a Panther if we lived in the States. He probably
was.
Been.
No, he probably
was. Yes, but he was very like unapologetically Black, and he was like, "You're Black, your parents are Black, we're beautiful people, they all want to look like us, they tan their skin, they get injections." He goes, "You are."
Oh, your dad's all that.
He was, yeah. And my mom, and like a lot of stuff like I didn't get. He died when I was 15, so like a lot of the stuff was like very young, and I was like, "Bruh, I'm like 11."
Imagine if he was here now, girl.
If he was here now,
your head be
the way I probably wouldn't have dated the men I've dated.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The way like I would just be like, "Dad, I need you to come do this a little." Like he would be like, "Absolutely, say less." So like y'all are lucky. I was like, y'all are really lucky. Although he instilled a lot in me. I think part of it is like how I felt and how that made a difference. I didn't get it at the time. Like I was like, "Oh, he's just talking to me." But the older I got, the more I was like, "Oh, this is important." And it's important to show up. And he was big on community. So supporting other Black people, being friends with other Black people. That's how me and Chica met. We lived 4 houses from each other. And my dad was like, "There's a Black family on the street. Go play with them."
Say hi.
And they introduced them. My dad was like, "You will play with them every day. I don't care." He's like, "Be friends with them. Those are your friends." And we're still friends to this day. But he was very big on community, Black community, and being proud of who we are as Black people. So I try to, like through the Megan Better brand, I guess you can say, like I try to just present myself that way. And some people like find a little off-putting.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you actually, because you absorb it. Like when I'm in your company, it just feels normal. Like it's like we're on the same level. Like, we just know what we bring to the table, right? Mm-hmm. But I know what I deal with when people say, "Why are you dressed up to go to a brunch?"
Listen, because why not?
Oh my God, I get it all the time. Like, "Tia, why do you gotta be so extra? Why do you have to do?" And I'm like, I have the clothes. Why not?
Yes.
Why are we waiting for a wedding or a funeral to get dressed up?
What are we waiting for?
So how do you feel, Megan, when you're out there? Because you are not playing at all.
I honestly,
even with your yoga gear.
Oh yeah, listen.
You keep it clean.
And I tell people, rolls don't stop nothing.
No, they don't.
People are like, I've never had a flat stomach, and I've given up on that journey. But that has not stopped anything. It hasn't stopped it hasn't stopped your man, my business, my work, nothing. But you have to. I think a lot of it. It's hard to deal with from some women, but like now I recognize it's like it's just this is on you. This got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, they need to
heal. This is on you. And before though, I used to get pretty upset. I was like, I don't know why they're being like that. Like la la la. My mom told me to get angry. She's like, people will be jealous of you, not because of what you look like, but because of what you have. And she goes, what you have could be the 2 parents at home. It could be that.
It could be anything.
She's like, we make sure that you're fed. We make sure that you have nice, like clean clothes. We weren't brand kids. My mom was just like, we could buy you Jordans or you could have a wardrobe. Like you pick. She's like, or wardrobe. You can have food in the fridge or this. And she's like, that doesn't have nothing to do with anybody else. She goes, but for you guys, like it's important for you all to have these things, to have a good foundation. But coming up with people, my first I was like, you don't have the foundation.
Shout out to your mom. Like, oh my gosh.
She did a lot. Like for someone who didn't plan to be a single parent of 3 kids, I don't know that I can't do it now. Like I couldn't do it now, but her and my dad did a good job of instilling like certain values in us as children. Because we were always much better dressed than they were. They're like, we'd rather put clothes on your back, get your hair done, get you guys in sports, do these things, and then we'll take care of ourselves. Yeah. She's like, why would we take care of us and you're beside me looking raggedy? She goes, what? That doesn't translate well. I see it all the
time, and I'm like, my eyes, I gotta look away.
And I was just like, I was like, this is your child. They didn't ask to be here. You brought them here. So I think that's the first thing I think of when people kind of attack me in that way. I'm just like, oh, you don't have the foundation I have, or maybe they didn't pour into you. They need to heal. Yeah, they didn't pour into you, and you need to talk to somebody about that. But I used to kind of like not cower, but I would try to like just lessen it. Just around certain people, I would try to like not be too much or not like let the light. And now I'm at the point like, 29. 29, 30, after like enough like adult talks to my mom and just like knowing her story as a woman and how like women, men, talk to your parents about who they are as people too.
Yeah.
That's a big conversation. Much more understanding, more grace, a lot of healing happens. We had a lot of conversations and she was like, stop acting like that. And she's like, that's their problem. She's like, why are you taking on their problems? She's like, that's not for you to deal with. And like my parents were both like very good looking people. So I was just like, well, I'm not here to just be small. Like my dad he couldn't dress. That's where I get my fashion from. But like my mom, Mac Queen, she wore Mac when Mac was just a hole in the wall off Spring Garden. Like face done to the nines. Like I don't wear makeup now. I just learned how to do my makeup. They wouldn't let me wear makeup as a kid. Either.
I mean,
my dad was like, "You
don't need."
Yeah, they were
just
like, the world will try to beat you down enough and try to change you. So this is who you are now. Get used to seeing who you are, and when you see other people in the world, let them like be a safe space. So like I said, smiling at little black kids, just showing up as myself, and letting people know you can be yourself. You taught me that.
Yeah,
you can show up and be yourself,
literally,
and that's enough. So like, I'll get online with like a plain face because this is what I really look like every day. Because I'd rather you see me in person and be like, oh, she looks the same, or like she's even better in person with like a plain face than you always see me done up and I look crazy.
And then when you see me with no makeup, you're like, oh shit,
who is that?
Like you look sick and tired.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, he's got no makeup on. I do it like even today. I don't have no lashes on. And my daughter said, Mom, you're not putting lashes on?
Your face looks good though.
And I was like, no, Zari, I'm not. I'm not. But you got a podcast. I said, I don't care. I'm just putting mascara on. Today is not a flash day.
Yes.
Like it's not happening.
I don't know how to put on lashes. So
oh, she taught me.
Okay. Yeah.
She's 17 and she taught me. She said, Mom, you got them up too high and stuff. But let me show you how this is done. So she gave me all the ropes and all that stuff. Yes. But honestly, being authentic, and you can see it. I
think
through
when
Meghan.
You own that, I think a lot of that's like my dad living in me too. My mom always says, she's like, oh, you're your father's daughter. He was pretty rowdy. Pretty like I said, very unapologetic and talk to anybody. Like I remember at his funeral, like people out the door, and my mom, like we talked to someone awake and they're like, oh, I met him at Tim Hortons. He just started talking to me. It's like on brand.
That's literally who he is. But you're the same way, Meghan.
But yeah, like talk to anybody because that's how you learn about the world, and like that's how you build, I think, like empathy and humanity. We don't talk to each other anymore. I think as a society, it's not enough talking. It's a lot of assumptions and a lot of like telephone.
Yes.
So we're hearing things and we're seeing things online that are true, but we're not talking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that.
And people are scared to be wrong or like the villain. And I'm like, you have to learn. I always tell people there's no such thing as a stupid question, maybe a stupid answer, but never a stupid question. No.
I say that again.
Never. There might be a stupid answer, but there's never a stupid question. Asking a question is always. This prof, a Todd leader, I think he might still be a prof here. I took a psychology and leadership, and he said if you're not making mistakes, you're not moving forward, and you're not making decisions, you're standing still. He's like, so if you're making mistakes, that means you're moving forward. And he's like, if you're not making any mistakes, you're not making decisions. So I take that with me. I say, every mistake I make, I'm just like, Todd said I'm not moving forward if I'm not making mistakes. So I was like, so I'm just like, hey, what can I learn from this? What can I take from this? And keep moving forward.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I hope he's still teaching here because
he was such a great professor.
You can tell, like a statement like that. Again, quotes like that will stick. I'll never forget that. After you just said today, it will stick with me, and I'll probably say it again to somebody else.
You'll be a leader, and I was like, sure. And I've owned that now. Before I was like, I'm no one's leader.
Same thing. I did it on my intro podcast. I said the same thing. Someone said to me, "Oh, you're going to be a leader," and then I was told I was a leader. I was like, I ain't no fucking leader. Yeah, I can't even leave my ass out of my door. And now, though, someone said it to me. I said, "Thank you very much."
But now I'm like, you're right. I am because I was like, I am influential. I do have people's attention, so I'm like, now I need to really take those things seriously and use them to like my advantage and like the best way possible.
Absolutely,
for good.
And then monetize on it. You know how I am with that.
Yes.
And that brings me to my next one. I starting a business, scaling a business is all hard. It's a lot of financial barriers, left, right, and center. But even with that being said, and you still work your 9 to 5. How have you found that it has boosted your confidence financially? Starting your business, has it taken away from what you've already had and drawn you down? Or has it really made you feel like I can do this, I can do more, I can have more divisions, I can do, training, I can add, different components of streams of income. How's that feeling right now?
So it's good. I definitely, that's where I'm going, like more streams of income. And I've added like a weird place. I make enough money, like that I'm making money.
Yeah.
Not enough to have staff. So like I'm
Girl,
at like
that takes a long time though. Don't worry about it.
Thank you for saying that. Because I was like,
girl,
maybe I
don't even. And when you do get it,
keep up.
You got to worry about the fact, like the CPPEI, all these things. Yeah. So just take your time with it, Meghan. Don't rush. Oh my God.
And that's why I have my job. So I told the kids.
Yeah.
So my presentation with the kids is about how you can, like, having a job and a business, you can do both, and it's sustainable. And I keep seeing stuff, conversations generating online now, bubbling about, like, that's the real win, is like having multiple streams of income, whether it's all business or like you have a job and a business, but like you need more than one.
You
to
need more than
sustain
one.
you.
There's no way. You
Yeah.
can't.
So like, and I have good benefits at my job. So I'm not leaving there until like I can make enough money, at least 1.5 times my salary, 18 months. I said, if I can do it 18 months in a row, maybe then I'll walk away. But as I can manage it, I'll stay there. But I think I crowdsourced my registration fees.
Good.
GoFundMe. So I had my cousin, my aunt, and a stranger. And I was like, oh, thank you guys so much. No shame. I tell people all the time.
Absolutely.
Please, like, ask, do a
People,
GoFundMe.
white
won't give away money.
people, I've seen crowdfunding for white people that are starting businesses, and they brought in tens of twenties of thousands of dollars.
Just
so
ask.
Why not?
And like I've done it personally a couple of times. Like people, like young people who want to start a business, like I don't have the money. I was like, you need to register your business, and they're like, realized that you need to. Tell me. I was like, send me an email, and I said, I'll send you back the money to go register it. I think like all that stuff about giving back and I don't go do it. Like I might not be like I'm in your mentorship program now as a mentor, so that's been like eye opening. It's been a very good opportunity.
Which is great. I was so happy to hear that.
Yes.
I was like, Megan said, Shanika was like, yeah.
And check out
like,
cheeseplease.com.
Oh,
yes, check out Cheese Please.
thank
See Amari. But just giving, like, putting directly back into the community. Like, I can talk to people all day long, but if people need to do this for the business, here's the money. Go do it.
Yeah.
Why do other people around me know that your business is not registered? And they're just letting you still conduct the business,
and it's not registered. They think it's cute.
I was like, you're not taking them seriously. Like, these are young black kids. Give them the money. So I was like, do you need the money? They're like, yes. I said, okay, well, I'll give it to you. So not having capital is not a big thing. I won a pitch competition my first year.
Yes.
And that was my first year in business was very unorthodox. It was very hard my second year because my second year didn't go as big or as well as my first year.
It always happens.
So
you go backwards. That's what happens.
And I won the Shea Moisture pitch competition. I did your pitch competition. I did one with Tribe, and then I did one with Pitch Better.
Yeah.
And the Tribe one, I was one of the winners, and the Pitch Better one, I was one of them from the cohort and training we did. So like, I had a really good first year. Like, won that money, good capital, and I was like, okay, I did this. And then the second year came in business, and I was like, this is...
Well, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to clarify for you. It had nothing to do with you.
Oh, not your... Yeah.
No, I don't mean in general pitching. What year was this?
This is 2022.
So, and I'll say this, I shouldn't say it doesn't have anything to do with you, but it has a lot to do with the funding.
Yes.
So all these pitch competitions we get funding for, and Black Lives Matter was hip and hot and big in 2021, 22. Close to the middle of 22, Black lives didn't matter no more. We're in 2024. There's no funding for Black businesses right now. But it's very slim. There's money for all the other buzzwords that are happening.
It was set up that way.
So I just want you to know that do not hold that on yourself.
No.
The money disappeared.
I do in a sense that because I'm just like, there's always something where I'm like, this is what I could have done better, do this, do that. So like, I never really hold other people accountable for like
what you could have done.
Things don't happen yet. That's on me.
I just had a conversation with someone about that. She was like, my business was so good in 2019 to 2021, and I just can't figure out what went wrong. And I was like, Black lives don't matter.
Especially if your clientele was like largely Black or guilty white people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If that's what it was. Because all Black businesses were, when I say sustainable, for them 3 years,
were booming.
Jesus, I was watching people, start from their house and open up a brick and mortar in Toronto, and I was just like, damn. What's going on now?
Yeah. So a lot of my clients are Black. Like I never really thought about it. A lot of my what do you guys call B2C? What I don't know. I don't know business language.
B2B, B2C,
yeah,
business to consumer.
Okay, so a lot of my B2C clients are like Black people, but a lot of my B2B clients are like bigger white corporations, which I don't mind. Like it's just, but I didn't really think about it that way. Although like the brand is for Black people, so I always say like yes to like people making orders or like last minute or whatever. I'll always try to make it work, especially other business owners because I know they got stuff going on. So I'm like, yeah, girl, I'll take the last minute order. Don't worry about it. But I think funding, you don't have to have funding to start it. It can be tougher. My jobs allowed me to kind of put a little bit of seed money into it on like slower times, but I just do it. The money will come to you. Like that's one thing I've become less concerned with finance. Even in my personal life, I'm just like, the money will always flow back to me. Like it goes out the door, but it flows back. It's something about you need to really buy into that belief because it's true.
It always happens. And I don't know if it's just that what you put out, you get back, or what it is, or, one door closes, another door opens. God always, finds a way for you. Like literally the money will flow in. but you won't know it until you at least
No.
fucking do it. Start the
Yeah.
business.
Yes.
I say it all the time, like, sis, start the business.
And that's the hardest part. And
Start the
You have my
business.
respect. If you start it, I don't care whether you don't continue or not. Starting it is the hardest point. That first year,
Just
after
start
that,
it.
like, you have my respect because you tried it.
You tried it, it didn't
you
work,
put
who
your
cares?
heart and soul into it, sweat. Yeah.
And I can
Pivot.
guarantee you, if you start one business and it didn't work, you will do another one.
Yes.
Because you realize that first one wasn't a passion. You did it because of, popularity on social media. So you probably did it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But when you find your passion and you do it a second time, all that shit you did wrong the first,
Yes.
you won't even do it a second. And you start building. We are, close to the end. I'm just looking at the time here. But I have a few things I would like to ask. What are some of your key lessons you've learned in the journey of entrepreneurship?
Fix your weaknesses. Or like identify them and fix them. And we talked about time management. I was a little late today too, and I was mad about that. 'cause I
No,
was like,
well, I'm glad you were because we were dealing with technical difficulties.
Yes. Usually if I'm late now, though, the other person's late too. So it just works that way.
Yeah.
But I think that time management was my big weakness. I was late for everything. So the business really exposed that and made it worse and bigger. I had a lot of time blindness. So I fixed that. And so I would say, find out what your weaknesses are and sharpen them immediately before the business exposes that. Don't let people who aren't where you want to go or who haven't already been where you want to go tell you anything about your business.
Facts.
I don't care. I really don't care if it could be your mom, it could be your dying grandma. I don't care. If they have not been in business or they're not at the level you want to go to or they haven't surpassed the level, do not listen to those people. They don't understand. They don't know. Please don't.
Just don't
save
listen.
yourself that. I know it sounds
That
really
headache.
disrespectful, but just save yourself the time and just the beating down of your dreams. Don't listen to them. Like, go out and try it. The third thing I would say is business. I would say, like, find something you love is cliche. I will say, like, I always love charcuterie. I hate everything else with it. So, like, all the admin, the paperwork, the additional taxes. I do my own taxes. I have for years.
I love admin.
My
I don't
mom
like
taught me taxes. I hate the
I
paperwork.
love the paperwork.
I have like the old time like sheet where I fill in like all the products and personally I have
Girl,
track of it
that's
on paper.
how it goes.
But I hate that. But charcuterie, I could make charcuterie like 24 hours straight. Be fine to take it to whoever ordered it, see their face just like, oh, it's so good, or get the message like, what kind of cheese is this?
Yeah.
What's this? I will always love that.
You love the trade of it.
So there will be times where you might not. If there comes times where you don't like the business, that's fine because there's the business aspect of it does suck. But if you love the actual thing you're doing,
you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Now, if it comes time where you're like, I don't like this anymore, then that may never.
It's
be
time
your
to
passion, and
revisit.
It's time to pivot, and pivoting is okay. You need to learn to pivot in all aspects of your life, but it's okay to pivot.
Oh, absolutely. I did the pivoting from, CIOE Community Radio 97.5 quickly over to the podcast.
To this elevated
And I
level.
just needed to do it because I was stuffed and stagnant there. I couldn't really do what I want to do and talk like I really want
and
to
radio
talk.
It's
different. Podcast, I can say whatever the fuck I want to say, talk about whatever I want to talk about. And you can see me on podcasts.
That's
you can
true.
see me. You can see, the vibes, the passion that comes from me when I'm talking to,
the fashions.
I love dressing up. Again,
Yes.
I don't just wait for an occasion
You can't.
to dress up. Like I have so many outfits. It's funny because I have people that will literally take a screenshot of an outfit of mine and will message me and say, "Are you selling this?"
Oh, because you said you only wear things once.
Yeah. And I'm
Did
just
you have
like,
that sale this year?
I didn't because I've been too busy.
I was like, did I miss it?
No,
Okay,
I'll be
good.
too
That's
busy.
good
So
to
this,
know.
I'll be probably doing it in September, October, once the pitch competition's over.
Nice.
And I have purses and shoes, and my fiance is like, "There's no way them shoes have not been taken out the box." And I'm like, "Well,
So mind your business.
he was
sir.
like, so you're not going to wear them?" I was like, "No."
Not yet. Like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Like,
don't worry about
babe. And I mean, the last clothing sale I had, I made it a little over $5,000.
Nice.
Like, it was within 6
I
hours.
feel like that's a steal.
It was.
Whoever got
I
the
went
stuff, I know
outside
it's a
my
steal.
front yard, and I put out 7 clothing racks. It was a lot of bins, and like the stuffs in the bins were, I think they were like $5 and under. So you had, it was just. I even had hair units that I never worn yet. Like I had units I wasn't wearing that I bought because I liked them, and then I'm like, I don't wear wigs. Anything, I wear a sewn-in weave. I'm a traditional. I'm an 80s baby. In the 90s raised me.
Braids, girl. I've never worn a wig. I need to get to my scalp.
That's what it is.
I always
I
need
need
to
to be able to go like this. I don't want to take a comb and do it. I want to touch it.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of I go to the water a lot in the summer. You can't wear wigs. I like to go in the water. I don't just bathe on top. I'm actually like a fucking whale, like a little whale, little dolphin whale in the water. I go swimming, Megan, real talk.
I do. So I grew up in the ocean here. We grew up in the ocean. So like I have the condition now. So I have to,
Yeah.
the way I have to swim is I can still swim. I just have to like ease into the water. But yeah, like I love, now don't get me wrong, I love tanning. I'll go to the beach like 2-3 times
like,
a week.
I just
like this, I'm trying to maintain this color. So
it's
it
gonna be
lasts
gone.
into February. Because
No, it
like
won't.
come
It won't.
March, it's rough over here.
It's
People
not.
think I'm sick.
Mine goes by January. Mine goes by January. And every time I go down to see my fiance in Jamaica in February, he's like, oh my God. I was like, what? He was like, you look sickly.
I know, shush.
And I'm like, shush, like that's my natural skin tone.
No one asked for
But
this.
when I go to Jamaica for a few weeks and I come back, that tan lasts me till summer.
Yes.
And then I just keep going.
Yes.
But I do love tanning, but I do love swimming. And I just feel like touching the ocean, my feet on the sand, it does something for me.
I think it's been here. I think most people here are like indigenous. Like we've been here so many generations, like 7, 8. So I think like, but I think there's something with water. I've gotten back to more, especially dealing with more food now. Like I try to make sure I'm in a good mood when I make the board.
Absolutely.
But I think like there's a lot of like, I'm more into, people call it like woo-woo science, but I'm like, there's like a lot of legitimate stuff about like ancient practices, holistic practices. But I think the water is healing. I would say water is the only thing that can kill you, but that we will never stay away from, because we need. It's the only thing that can keep you alive, but it will kill you.
I've been drinking mineral water lately too, getting into that.
Do you speak to it?
Not yet. I haven't got that far, girl. I'm taking
baby
steps.
To the woo-woo.
Okay, baby steps, but it does feel good. You know, I'm going through that soft girl era, healthy living. You know, I just been doing a lot of recreating myself for myself in the last 6 months.
Do you think you would have gotten here if you didn't have the businesses?
No.
Interesting. Did you hear that?
Because I would have still been struggling to figure it out. I still would have been struggling financially to feed my kids, take care of my kids. And I still just would have been struggling and living in that I have to be that Black woman who ain't taking shit from people no more. Like there's a fine line between always being self-sufficient because you have to and self-sufficient because you want to.
Yeah.
And me, I'm on the want level.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. I never thought of that. Me asking you that, I'm just like, oh, that's true. I think the trajectory of how like the growth has gone with me, my personal life, and then with my business, I think my business like definitely broke me in a lot of ways, like in the best ways possible. But there was so much growth, and like so many things have been better.
Megan better.
Yes,
it's facts. Yeah. Entrepreneurship, it was my way to success.
Yes.
It wasn't because I wanted to, but it was my way to success. If I did not start my little old cleaning company that people used to say.
I tell people little. Small.
Oh
people
my
can
God,
call your business anything but little.
Me with that. How's the little cleaning company?
No, my small.
Are you still cleaning like people's houses and toilets? My God, why would you want to do that? That little cleaning company in 2013 opened up so many doors for me, where now my oldest daughter owns that company.
Legacy.
Literally, she owns all the clients, like all the everything, commercial contracts, everything. After me having it for 10 years, and started other businesses, and that little cleaning company started Black Women in Excellence and allowed me to buy my first home. Like, it got me where I'm at. Yeah. It was a road to success. So entrepreneurship was my way to success, and I'm always pushing other people, even if you work a 9 to 5, do it as a stream of income, something, you know, off the side of your table to bring it in, because you don't know where that can lead you.
That is the big thing. You'll have a clear path, but business will take you like so many places.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I've given a lot of talks. I didn't think, like I had the podcast before I started the business, and like I like to talk. I can obviously talk. And I got asked to do like, I think like 6 months in, they're like, oh, do you want to give a talk? I think it was like a group here at St. Mary's. And I was like, wow, I guess.
Yeah, just do it.
I told them, an email, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Because I was like, at the time I was like, I'm not qualified to do this, but I know how to talk, so we'll just put something together. Not? And yeah, ever since then I've had like several different talking gigs where I've gotten paid for it. And I was like, oh, I like this. I was like, I thought like the podcast was cute and fun and all of that. It wasn't paying me, but now like being able to get paid to talk, whether it's like as an MC or whether it's like doing presentations, I'm like, I need to get into this.
You need to. I need to. And I just joined the Professional Speakers Association of Canada.
They see something about that on Eventbrite.
Yeah, they were here a few weeks ago. I missed it, but the executive director and president of their board reached out to me to meet for lunch because I missed the event. And so I just joined them. And I mean, I'm hoping it opens up more doors than, you know, but I'm taking my speaking engagement seriously now. I'm speaking at an event in Truro for Emancipation Day, August 1st. And I'm really excited for it. And I wouldn't say how much I get paid for it because that's like confidential.
Too, yes.
But I will say I generate anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000 a year,
That gives me
just
so-
speaking.
I'm excited now. Bourbon,
Just
love
speaking.
hands, yes.
And that was just people asking me to speak, not me promoting that I speak.
Mm-hmm.
So once I come to this new rebrand, you'll see a lot more of me promoting and marketing my
Nice.
speaking engagements because I'm
Because you're very engaging. So yeah.
thanks.
And
I
like
would
you're,
hope people think
it's
that.
engaging, but it's also like educational. It's practical, and it's not too hoity-toity.
And it's authentic.
It's digestible,
Like,
yeah.
it is. It's just, this is tea. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't.
Yeah, like you don't gatekeep the things you
Nope.
do in the sense of like even the language you use, how you speak to people. Like it's all very much like I want you to have this information so you can go and
go
take
do
it and apply it.
Please apply
Yes.
it and get that money. Okay, so we are at the end of the podcast.
Yes.
Megan, how can individuals reach you? They want to connect to get you to speak, to buy a charcuterie, or to partner with you on better brunches.
Ooh, okay. So we'll start with my newborn, my baby, Halifax Charcuterie. So it's everywhere at Halifax Charcuterie. The website is halifaxcharcuterie.com. Not on Facebook, sorry, but Instagram, TikTok. You can place orders through DMs, an email, or directly on the website.
Go to the website.
Yes,
She
go to the
prefers
website.
that.
Yes, I can track the analytics better for like different funding and stuff. So go to the website. For me personally, you can find me at Megan Better. All those views do represent me. However hot or crazy or controversial they are, that's me. I'm a whole person. I like to laugh a lot, so you'll find me there. For brunches, you can message me there either at the Megan Better, or you can even fill out the inquiry form on the website, the Halifax Charcuterie site. People will still do that. Or you can see me in person. If you have my number or email, you can just reach out that way. But I try to be very active online so I can keep the engagement going.
Yeah.
So you can reach out to me anywhere there. If you see me anywhere out, I have an RBF that's just my face. Just come talk to me. I promise you it changes instantly once people say hello. I'm just like, oh, hi. But just don't let the RBF scare you off. And you can find me probably at any of your events.
Yeah.
Well, anyone I'm not at is because I had something else planned. Or
she did a lot of entrepreneurship events at, Mount, St. Mary's, like Tribe, BBI.
I try to be out in the community. That's one of the things I'm most proud of. For instance, in the business, people that I haven't met before will be like, I know you, I was you online promoting this person's business. So like community is like why I'm building my own legacy. Building our community is big for me, and supporting our community is big for me.
Absolutely.
I start with us before I go anywhere else.
Wow, I love it. I love it. Well, guys, we are at the end of Identity Shift, and I was so happy to have Meghan Symonds on here today because it was absolutely a vibe, and I can't wait to have you guys tune in next week. See you later. Bye. Thank you for listening to Identity Shift. See everybody next week.